Everybody wants in on the secret until they get to hear it. Then they start wondering if they could really keep it. My dear brothers and sisters, welcome to the Chosen's Path. I am the common denominator. Don't let them get to you. Don't let them get you. We came into this world with absolutely nothing. But the good thing is, we came in with self. And once we get to investigate the reality of self, we get to see that the real self, not the ego self, is truly that which we should hold on to dearly. Don't let them get to you. So many different things have been designed, fabricated from the mind, carved out so nicely, precisely, projected as inanimate objects. And even by his special grace, we get to see other movable beings upon this planet, such as animals, that we cherish and appreciate. But don't get caught up. Remember, you came in with nothing but self. It's very, very easy for us to get caught up out here, my dear brothers and sisters. We end up falling into the pits of unnecessary competition, which opens up portals within us, tapping into the darker energies of jealousy and envy, which ends up breeding into greed and hatred, all because we got caught up. While living in the mode of ignorance, we can make excuses. But once the truth finally comes to us, and we taste it and we digest it accordingly, we can no longer make excuses anymore. Because the truth would live in you. For there is no reason why we should come in contact with truth and remain in bondage, because in truth and in spirit, the truth sets us free. On the Chosen's Path, as y'all already know, we are always going to get to the very, very bottom of it, because peace of mind is the ultimate goal. Once the mind is at peace, what else is there to attain? Once you understand, once you understand spirit and matter, your presence, and that which truly matters in the fabric and the manifestation of your presence, what else is really there to prove? Not even to self anymore. Because everything is, and we are grateful for everything as it is. Don't get caught up. Don't let them get you. You are truth. And any other truth that you might go seeking outside of yourself, you're going to run into a lot of shadows if you don't know yourself to be truth. And you might end up identifying with those shadows if you're not careful. That is why it is very, very important, my dear brothers and sisters, for us to come to the inner knowing of the real self, not the ego self that gets us attached to those things that are perishing. Like I said, when we came in, the good thing is we came with self and nothing else. So that should be the main focus, the realization of the real self. And we are grateful because abundant knowledge has been left for us to dive into it, saving us a whole lot of time. We don't have to go through some of the great sufferings that most of these great masters had to go through to attain some of this information. We just have to make out the time for it and create the internal mental space to accommodate this so it can completely unlock all the doors that have been locked within us through the years of misinformation, miseducation. All of that was just locking doors within our psyche, within our minds. And when we hear about Supreme Self, we must take it upon ourselves to investigate this. On the chosen's path, there is even no way to escape it. You must investigate the reality of self, the real self. Don't get caught up. Don't let them get you. No matter how enticing the objects that they have positioned might look, remember, it is just a mirage, a projection of potential from another mind. And even you yourself, you are a great projection of higher potential. And we are grateful for that. I'm sure you are grateful for that. I had to drop this video because I really wanted to connect with y'all, to encourage y'all to not fall into the pits of unnecessary, unfruitful, unyielding competition. We do know that sometimes friendly competition is necessary to bring about the best in you, but just don't allow yourself to fall into the pits of now harboring jealousy and hatred and anger when you truly know the overall objective. We all do know what the overall objective is. If you're on the chosen's path, you are no longer seeking for purpose because you've realized purpose is one with you. Every single day when you go about interacting, carrying your activities, it is all tied into purpose. The chosen ones truly do not have a need to compare or be in competition with anything because they have aligned their will with the will of the Most High. And when you are here to do the will of the Most High, you are not allowing yourself to fall prey to competition, because that is just another form the enemy uses to zap your energy. He delays you, zaps your attention. Now you are focusing on that which truly doesn't matter. You are aligned with your purpose, and your purpose is that which you will fulfill. You're going to remain in alignment with the will, as your name is already scribed in the greater will. Don't get caught up. There is a whole lot that can get us to get off on the wrong exit. We get off on the wrong exit, then we forget that we needed to stay on track. My dear brothers and sisters, it is such an amazing time to be alive, because once we come into the awareness that we are in a human body, and that the human body, this biological substance made of the 4 elements, being such a great vehicle at some given point, has to return back to that which it was made of, then the reality of the consciousness that is within us, that is able to make sense of the fact that it is presence, becomes that which truly matters. Wouldn't you agree? That is why we are not going to ignore those higher values that get us to appreciate our presence, and at the same time appreciate the presence of others as well. We cannot ignore this, but at the same time, we are not going to allow ourselves to be attached to it. You see? My dear brothers and sisters, for this particular video, I'm not gonna go too deep. Don't get caught up. Don't let them get you. Remember that which truly matters, for real, for real. on the chosen's path, you have to maintain the work that you are here to do and be conscious of it. Don't allow yourself to fall prey to all those little traps that have been put in place to get us to feel like what we are doing is not worth it, or like the work that you have to do isn't worth it. We know that the great prophets surrendered their lives entirely to the Most High, just so that they could not be controlled by anything external, but by His divine will. And on the chosen's path, we have to keep that in mind. The most important thing is the will of the Father. We should go ahead and cap it at that. Remember, don't be out here worrying about people that's trying to compete with you when you know you're just fulfilling the will of your Father, and they should too, but they just got caught up. They forgot who they are, whose they are, where they from, and where they're going. But it is your job to remind them in love. Thank y'all so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank y'all so much for staying tuned in all the way to the very end. And I hope that this message resonated with you. May y'all remain blessed in your various cities, in your various houses. Continue to spread love and light into the world. Thank you for making somebody's day. Until next time.